Welcome to Investing Path, where we illuminate the road to financial enlightenment with each and every episode. Today, we're venturing down a path that has intrigued economists and scholars alike: the potential collapse of our society as foretold by a legendary MIT study. Fasten your seatbelts as we navigate through the complexities of this prediction and unravel the threads that could either lead to our downfall or spur us on to a brighter future. Nearly half a century ago, a group of MIT researchers ignited a conversation that still blazes strong to this day. Their forecast? That we, as a global society, might be barreling toward an impasse, with the potential for collapse looming ominously by 2040. Fast forward to the present, and analysts at KPMG signal that we're not just on track but accelerating towards this foreboding destination. Pause for a moment and consider this. Advanced civilizations, in their entirety, span roughly 10,000 years. During this expanse, empires have risen from the dust and dissolved back into it, often leaving behind little more than relics and ruins. Historians often juggle theories about what toppled these mighty realms, but common threads emerge, weaving a tale of political turmoil, cultural shifts, environmental challenges, and economic dilemmas, the latter being the crux of our interest today. Imagine civilizations, now reduced to mere footnotes in history books, undone by a fusion of these determinants. Some crumbled swiftly, like Pompeii under the wrath of Vesuvius, others over months, such as the Aztecs under Spanish siege, and yet others gradually over centuries, the Romans for instance. Let's shift gears and look at our modern world, a civilization unlike any other, steeped in wealth and advancements beyond the wildest dreams of our ancestors. If you're tuning into this video, you're wielding a tool, a portal to a world of knowledge that the most learned minds of yesteryear couldn't have fathomed. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the luxuries we often take for granted. And as you contemplate this grandeur, consider the wealthiest individuals throughout history. Names like Rockefeller, Rothschilds, Romanovs, and even Mansa Musa are dwarfed by contemporary titans, such as Elon Musk, though his net worth is as volatile as the market itself. Despite the opulence attributed to these historical figures, their lives were set against a backdrop of widespread scarcity, lacking the modern comforts we scarcely give a second thought to today. If given a choice, would you trade your contemporary conveniences for the grandeur of a 15th century palace, devoid of air conditioning, modern plumbing, or cholera-free cuisine? The answer seems clear, and yet, here lies the paradox. Our advancement, our very peace, has been underpinned by a delicate balance of technology, education, and global cooperation. Nations today are interwoven in a tapestry of mutual dependency that surpasses any alliance of old. Why resort to hostility when prosperity is within grasp? But therein lies the fragility. A jet engine, for all its speed and power, is nothing if not vulnerable to the slightest flaw. Our complex, interdependent systems mirror this vulnerability, such that a single misstep could herald catastrophe. And we, accustomed to convenience and ease, might find ourselves ill-prepared should we be cut off from our lifelines of delivered sustenance and easy resources. Now, let's peel back the layers of the MIT study, The Limits to Growth, which sent ripples through the economic landscape. It employed groundbreaking computer models, a novelty in the 60s and 70s, to simulate the complex web of our global economy. Variables were vast, but at its core, the model sought to track the balance of population, industrial output, food production, resource availability, and pollution, each a cog in the engine of our modern existence. As we venture through this intricate network, we find ourselves at a crossroads, foretold by the prescient minds at MIT. The Limits to Growth wasn't merely alarmist fiction. It was a scientific projection based on the best available data at the time. The main takeaway? Our planet's resources are finite, and our exponential growth patterns in population and industry could potentially outpace the Earth's capacity to sustain us. The warning was clear: adjust course or face the consequences. Transitioning to such an economy is as much an investment challenge as it is an environmental one. It will require not only innovative thinking, but substantial capital. The financial systems and markets of tomorrow must be ready to support ventures that prioritize sustainability over short-term gains. This is where you, as investors and consumers, wield immense power. Your choices, your demands, can steer corporations and governments towards this new paradigm. Moreover, the MIT study highlights a critical concept that remains under-discussed: the impact of exponential growth on systems limited by linear capacities. Our planet replenishes its resources at a steady linear rate, if at all. Yet, our consumption and waste production are growing exponentially. This mismatch is at the heart of the study's warning and is a fundamental challenge for today's economists and policymakers. Let's not forget, however, that predictions of doom are not destinies carved in stone. They are cautionary tales, meant to awaken us to the dangers of unbridled progress without foresight. The same ingenuity that has catapulted us into this era of abundance can also be harnessed to navigate us through the looming environmental and socio-economic choke points. Furthermore, the limits to growth are not just about resources. They are about the limits of our current ways of thinking. It's about reimagining progress, not as a straight line leading us to ever greater heights, but as a complex, adaptive process that includes setbacks, re-evaluations, and pivots. The implications for investors are profound. In the coming decades, we may witness a seismic shift from industries that are resource-intensive and linear to those that are resource-efficient and circular. This is not just a moral imperative, it is an economic one. Companies that fail to adapt may find themselves obsolete, while those that embrace this change may thrive. Finally, let's touch upon the role of technology and innovation. Breakthroughs in clean energy, biotechnology, and materials science offer hope for a sustainable future. They also present unique investment opportunities. Visionary companies are already working on solutions, from carbon capture and storage to meat grown in labs, reducing the need for resource-intensive livestock farming. So, as we ponder the legacy of the limits to growth, let's not view it solely as a harbinger of doom, but as a roadmap for change. We have the knowledge, the technology, and the creativity to rewrite the narrative of our future. But the time for action is now. The clock is ticking, and 2040 is not as far off as it seems. Before we conclude, if this exploration has sparked your curiosity or concern, please subscribe for more insights. Join our community as we seek out the investment paths that not only promise returns but also contribute to a sustainable and prosperous future for all. As we stand on the precipice of potential upheaval, it is worth remembering the words of the philosopher George Santayana. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Let us take the lessons of history, the warnings of science, and the opportunities of the present moment to chart a course towards a stable, thriving, and inclusive world. If today's content resonated with you, don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Join us as we continue to explore the intersections of finance, sustainability, and innovation. Your support means the world to us and fuels our mission to provide insightful content that matters to you. Thank you for tuning in to Investing Path. Stay informed, stay invested, and most importantly, stay thoughtful about the mark you leave on the world.